You know, there's several states that have muzzleloader seasons for deer and elk, and every state has its own rules or regulations, but in Colorado, you can't use scopes, you can't use smokeless powder. It's more of the traditional muzzleloader, and so obviously that creates some challenges. You know, you look at the limitations, you know, you got to be within 100 yards. It's more similar to bow hunting, you know, and you get that adrenaline rush of being able to hunt during the rut, and so really it is a neat hunting opportunity. Rooster! Well, look at the tail on that rooster.
Passion for the Hunt is brought to you by Shields, Crestliner Boats, Travel Manitoba, Federal Premium Ammunition, North Dakota Tourism, Primo's Hunting.
We're just working our way through here. Doing a little bit of bugling to see if we can locate a bull. Couple bulls up there bugling, pretty good. We got one over here, it sounds like, so hopefully we can get between them.
You know, so the very first morning, you know, we get set up and we had another hunter with us named Mark, and we hadn't gone up the mountain very far, and CJ started calling, and we had a bull that responded right away and just basically came in on us on a dead run.
One of those bulls. He may come down. You never know. Especially if I can call his cow. A lot of times he follows. So that makes him mad. Oh, we've got higher up here. We're starting to see some elk up high. We're starting to hear some bugling. We've got elk around us now. Yeah, he's coming. I want you to sit right here. I'm gonna just sit back 20, 30 yards and just call because he's coming. Yeah, I passed. He took off on us.
You know, just from the very first morning, you know, how these bulls were responding to the calling, it was just incredible. I mean, you know, I've hunted before where you just time it wrong and you hardly hear any bugling, where, you know, elk hunting can be really tough. Sometimes you time it right, and we just got the right window where these bulls were mad. I mean, we saw so many cool encounters.
Oh, there he is. That's a cow there. Bull's right behind her. I think it's a 4x5. Okay. You want to shoot that? Yeah, let's just watch him and see what happens.
exciting morning. First hour, so we hardly heard a bugle. Then we got higher up. They just started to sound off. So, two really cool encounters first morning. That was cool. Unbelievable. Great way to start our hunt. You're the elk whisperer, CJ.
When you've logged hours building trust in your gear, you've really built trust in the most important tool in your arsenal, yourself. Are you ready?
North Dakota's hunting and fishing is some of the best in the nation. The birds are flying, the fish are biting, tails are wagging, and you're smiling just thinking about it. Plan your visit at NorthDakotaLegendary.com.
Out second morning, a little bit warmer, wind really laid down, but yesterday morning we just had an incredible morning. You know, 2 bulls come in like that, that was just cool. Last night it was really quiet, really strong winds, swirling wind, and didn't hear hardly anything, didn't see much. It's nice and still this morning here, so we're gonna start walking up the mountain here and see what happens.
I'm trying to sound as much as I can like a herd of elk. My biggest thing is just mimicking what I hear. So if there's a bull that has a non-aggressive bugle, that's kind of what I stick with. I'm also trying to do one of 2 things. I'm either trying to pull his cows from him, which makes him mad and he'll follow, or I'm trying to get in his comfort zone and threaten him where he's gonna come to me.
What's this wind doing? It seems like it changes direction every 5 minutes. You feel pretty good for about 50 yards and all of a sudden, whoa. Oh, but in general, the thermals are still. That was cool. Definitely. That's right there. You got to them all. It's like, oh, was that cool? That was so cool. Whew.
You know, you look at the terrain, you know, the wind is almost like water, where you have the thermals that are going down the mountain in the mornings when it's cold. When the day warms up, you have the thermals going up the mountain, then you have, you know, the wind that can, you know, add on top of that. You know, again, we were around so many elk, you know, and what was so fun was that we were so aggressive. We had so many close calls, just so many little things that went wrong at the last minute where we didn't get a shot. But regardless, it was just so many cool encounters.
I'm always constantly changing my call from what I'm hearing, and also if we have an encounter with an elk, a lot of times I'll change my readout and it'll try to sound like a totally different elk. Even with my bugle, I'll really be trying to mimic what I hear.
That was a good bull. If that cow wouldn't have came up on us, we would have got him.
I think he was coming as long as she didn't witness. I was worried about that.
Yeah. That was a fun encounter.
If you think there's nothing new in ground blinds, the new Double Bull Surround View is about to prove you wrong. What's up? I'm Will Primo. What do you think about this?
Man, this is nice.
This is exclusive one-way see-through walls.
I'm at a loss for words.
I couldn't see y'all in here.
Look back there. You would never have seen that. It's a blind without a blind spot.
It's really like you're not even hunting in a blind.
The Double Bull Surround View blind. Download the app and see it for yourself from Primo's.
During this time, a big bull has a lot of cows. You'll catch them in a small window sometimes between herds looking for an estrus cow, but that's rare. Most of the time, a big herd bull will be surrounded by eyes and ears and noses to where it's just really difficult to come in there. And unless you're in that comfort zone, there's no way you're gonna get on them.
We still have time. I think there's still elk down there. Just gonna walk down the ridge and see if we can still catch some coming up to bed.
Okay. Get moving on.
One thing about elk calling, and I can't say that I'm an expert at it all, I live in a state where there's literally no elk hunting where you can get a once-in-a-lifetime license. I have to go out of state to hunt elk. I have to go to Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, Utah, places further west. I think that's pretty typical for, a lot of hunters that live in the Midwest. You're not around elk enough to ever really get super at calling.
If bulls are looking for a cow and estrus, I'll really try to sound like an estrus cow, and I'm trying to, draw those bulls in. It's just more drawn out, more excited sounding, and you're like, okay, there's an estrus cow, and a lot of times that will draw those bulls in. A lot of guys have asked me what calls I use, and I like a dome or a call with a plate in it, but really it comes down to whatever you're comfortable with. I prefer reed because I can make so many different sounds with a diaphragm call. I've noticed a lot of times with the external reed, when you try to grunt, the grunt gives it away. When I have a reed in my mouth, I can really use my gut and my voice to make that deep sound.
We've got elk all around us. Several bulls bugling up here, but our wind's swirling so much, I just don't know what we can do here.
It's a real challenge with just the ridges and the side of the mountain. It's a constant swirl. Very unpredictable.
That was cool. That was unbelievable. Wow. Then I have him come up and just bugle like that.
He was pretty close. Sometimes I wonder if I need a bayonet.
Yeah.
You know, the general program with these elk each day is that they come down off the mountain during the night to feed, and then they go back up the mountain during the day where they'll bed down. And so every day you have this movement of elk, you know, and what's so cool about it is that, you know, you're trying to get in front of the elk, sometimes you get behind the elk and you're trying to catch up to them, but you know, you hear these bugles in these different ravines, and sometimes it's like you're chasing ghosts, you know, where some of these elk are moving in a direction where you just never do catch up to them. This morning, you know, we were moving up a draw pretty quickly, and you know, we could hear elk on the other side of the draw, and we were able to just catch up to them because they were chasing each other around. They were just distracted. If they were just walking up the mountain, we would have never caught up to them. But the bulls are chasing the cows around, and just a lot of activity. The cows are grazing, and so we were able to get, you know, in a good situation. We were able to get in on them where the wind was favorable, and you know, it's almost like these elk have a bubble around them, and they're only willing to stray so far.
There's elk all over up ahead of us. We saw probably about 6 or 8 cows come in a line up to our left here. We're gonna see glimpses of elk up through the Quakies here. And obviously there's bulls bugling all over. Yeah, they're just loud, aren't they?
They are. There's at least 2 bulls over there. There's like 4 bulls going on like those cows. And those 2 bulls. One bull's chasing their cow.
Boy, there are so many elk up there, just loud.
Right here. It's coming. You have a shot?
No, I don't.
See if you can move down this way. I think you can get a shot. There's a lot of elk up there.
They're chasing all those cows around.
I think that bull's coming.
Yeah. That was so cool. Oh, you know, we had so many cool encounters the last few days, you know, as far as just seeing bulls and having bulls respond to the calling. And
Oh, yeah.
you know, and just, you know, we had a lot of wind swirling where they'd come in just perfectly, then at 50 yards, 70 yards, whatever, where we didn't have a shot, you know, and didn't have a clearing. They'd get hung up and, you know, just that swirling wind where they'd bust us. But
Yeah.
what a cool.
That was perfect.
Yeah. Let's go check them out. I can't believe how this bull came in. What an awesome opportunity. I've never hunted elk with a muzzleloader before. I've always heard about this season.
Really?
Just, oh.
Favorite time of year. They're so responsive, and it's just a totally different hunt than rifle.
Obviously, muzzleloader, primitive weapons, open sights, you know, you're basically lethal to 100 yards, you know, probably a little bit better than archery, but at the same time, not nearly what rifle hunting is. But the fact that you can talk to them and interact and see that interaction,
Yeah.
this has been incredible. I want to thank you. Well, this has been incredible.
Passion for the Hunt was brought to you by Shields, Crestliner Boats, Travel Manitoba, Federal Premium Ammunition, North Dakota Tourism, Primo's Hunting,